Operation Varsity Blues, where the rich and famous buy their way into college, and they've just been caught. Yeah, and welcome to this special edition of the James Rice Show. You know, we love to bring you up to date on news stories about what's happening in the world of education, and this story just broke today, where federal authorities in the United States have arrested 50 people for participating in a nationwide college admissions cheating scheme. So they've been cheating to get their kids into colleges, and some of the big colleges too. I mean, we're not talking small colleges. We're talking Yale, Stanford, UCLA, USC, that's the University of Southern California, University of Texas. These are big, big colleges. And of course, the big name that has been indicted is Aunt Becky from Full House. Oh my God. You know, if you guys are a Full House fans, we grew up with Aunt Becky. She was so nice. What are you doing? What are you doing, Aunt Becky? Aunt Becky paid a bribe. She paid $500,000, $500,000 to get her two daughters designated as recruits for the USC crew team, which is a kind of a rowing team. And even though they did not participate in this sport. Now, I'm laughing because this is so absurd and absolutely crazy. Now, you just have to go on to Aunt Becky's daughter's Instagram account, and you can see probably she's not a rower, number one. And number two, you know, I'm not sure she's really serious about going to college. Stephanie, let's play Olivia Jade. This is Olivia Jade, and this is her YouTube channel. This is her voice. This is what she's saying.
And then the whole college thing, yep, I'm going. I'm living in a dorm with a roommate who's so sweet. With work, it's going to be hard. Like, my first week of school, I'm leaving to go to Fiji for work. And then I'll be in New York a bunch this year for work and traveling to a different country because I'm creating something with this country, and that's for work. So I don't know how much of school I'm going to attend, but I'm going to go in and talk to my deans and everyone and hope that I can try and balance it all. But I do want the experience of, like, game days, partying. I don't really care about school, as you guys all know.
Game day, partying, going to Fiji, going to New York. When does she have time to train for that rowing team? I have no idea, but apparently she does. Or at least USC believed that she had time to train and be ready and join that club. No, actually, the coach was he was caught in the bribery scandal as well. And, you know, lots of things are flashing through here. So I'm watching the screen as I'm talking to you. So I apologize if I sound a bit preoccupied, because Aunt Becky, according to CNN, Aunt Becky from Full House is turning herself in tomorrow. Wow. I mean, that's a shocker as well. So it's good, I guess, in a way. She doesn't want her daughter to be dragged under her from what she's done. And apparently some of these kids did not know what their parents were doing. So, in fairness to the kids, they may not have known what the parents were doing, that they were bribing to get them in. Now, there's a whole bunch of situations and stories. So I told you the Aunt Becky one. So another family, apparently the kid, the parents had bribed the SAT administrators so that they could, the parent could write the SAT for the child, or another person would write for the child. But the parent would bring the SAT home to the child and make the child write the SAT, so the child is thinking that he wrote the SAT and got in, not that the parents had bribed. Oh, man. Can you imagine finding out that your parents had bribed? I mean, one parent actually spent $6 million to get their child into some of the elite colleges. I mean, that's crazy. Well, I should say paid bribes up to $6 million. Now, the schools, in fairness, we got to be fair here because we are fair on the James Rice Show. The schools apparently did not know, of course, what was going on. That's what they're saying. But hey, there's a lot of money being thrown around there, and the bribing was being done regarding their ACTs and their SATs. So, what would happen would the parents were paying this administrator of the SATs, who would then pay out to proctors, the people who are watching the tests, and they would sometimes change the answers on the SATs for those kids. And it was basically those guys are getting paid about $10,000. So, and they're going to jail for $10,000. So that's not a lot of money, guys. That's not a lot of money. Your boss was making $25 million. You could have got more to make those changes. There's another famous person who's caught up in this, and that's Felicity Huffman. Felicity Huffman from what show is she on? What show is she on? I'm not sure what show she's on. Don't know her that well. I know Aunt Becky, but I don't know Felicity Huffman. She's involved, and she paid $15,000. She's married to William Macy. He's a famous actor. So they kind of faked. They faked a lot of stuff. You got to read a little bit more about it because there's so much. This one guy, there's one guy. At Yale University, the head of the women's soccer coach, he's a former head. He was paid $400,000 to accept a student, even though that student did not play soccer.
I don't really care about school, as you guys all know.
Yes, thanks, Stephanie. There is Aunt Becky's daughter, who apparently the family didn't even complete the college applications. These fraudsters, these bad guys in the story, they did everything for the family. That was very nice of them to make sure that she gets in. But another to continue on with the sports story. In order to get their kids into these different sports scholarships that they and pay their way in, some of the families would. And some of the not the families, I shouldn't say that, but these bad guys, these administrators of these SATs and college applications, they would use Photoshop to place the applicant's face on photos of actual athletes' bodies. Okay, so in one part of the filing it's online, you can read it all online, is that one alleged fraudster, one of these guys, he bought water polo gear from Amazon, and he got a graphic designer to research how to make the resulting photo look authentic. All right, so they put it all together with Photoshop to submit it into the college admission departments. It's just like, what? Okay, so Felicity Huffman. All right, she's from Desperate Housewives. Okay, thank you, Stephanie, for sending that through to me. And she's married to William Macy. Now, she made a charitable contribution of $15,000. So that her proctor, that's the person who oversees the SAT, would, change her daughter's answers. Okay, so, and this bribe, because that's what it is when you pay somebody to do that, the bribe was a donation for educational programs for disadvantaged youth.
I don't really care about school, as you guys all know.
So Huffman, thanks, Stephanie. So Huffman and Becky have been charged with mail fraud. Yeah, that's pretty serious stuff. That's pretty serious scandal. Now, the most disturbing part of this is that some of the parents faked disabilities. Okay, so they were coached by these bad guys or bad administrators there. They were coached to invent or create a medical condition so that their children couldn't take the SATs in a normal way. They had to go to a special center in which they would then bribe the SAT administrators and get high scores. So that, to me, is, it's really low. I mean, that's really low. Faking a disability, that's just... Throw the book at those guys. I mean, those guys are bad. So here's my issue on this, and here's my take on it immediately. And lots of stuff is still kind of falling out, and we haven't heard the other sides of the parents, but it's not looking good for the parents. But here's my problem. Number one, fake disability. I mean, that's low. Number two, college admission departments. I mean, guys, you can go online and you can find out a lot about your applicants. All right, you can find out a lot.
I don't really care about school, as you guys all know.
Yeah, that's just one example. Thanks, Stephanie. I mean, that's right from her YouTube channel. And you can see the child. I mean, come on, guys. Admission departments, you got to be a little bit more strict on these things. The other thing with admission departments that I'm concerned about is let's get into some video. Let's get into some video interviews. You guys are looking at grades and papers, but you are not seeing the whole student, and you're not seeing how well they do, or how well they can communicate, or how serious they are about your university. I mean, when I went to university, and here I go, when I went to university, I know. But I was going into a very competitive program, and we had to have a face-to-face interview. We had to have it. We had to have a portfolio and things of that nature, but you had to have a face-to-face interview. And I think with video, submitting videos online, it's not that hard for kids today. I mean, they're doing stuff on Instagram and YouTube all the time, and, maybe you make it mandatory that they have a digital portfolio to submit to you. So if they're going to be on the row team, the rowing team for USC, hey, maybe they should submit some videos of them rowing. Who would ever think of that? Hey, that's pretty amazing. And I guess the third point that bothers me here is the lack of respect or reverence or care by the kids and the parents. And again, maybe the kids don't know. I understand that. Maybe the parents did this. But, that they're not necessarily respecting that process of colleges or taking it very seriously. And college should be an amazing experience. College or university should be an amazing experience for kids. I mean, this is where you learn about life. You learn to be an adult. You learn to about different ways of thinking, different thought processes, different styles of communication, and it should expand you as a young individual, and it should make your future life that much more incredibly exciting. And it's not just a tool for status, or to try to get a better paying job. All those will come if you're a hard worker and you're serious about your craft. You will become that. But that's also a disturbing point for me. So here at the James Rice Show, we are going to be watching this unfold over the next few days. But we wanted to jump on and give you guys an update. And it's just wow. And Becky going to jail. Wow.